Setting off on day 2, just left the Comfort Inn and heading north. Today's gonna be the first day of actual woods and trails, so that's exciting. And I am going to be camping tonight, actually. Headed for the Godman Group Campsite. It's going to be off a little spur trail, but it's going to be about a 14.7-mile day. The next 3 nights, actually, I will be camping. Yeah, this is a stretch where there is actually camping that's not terribly far apart. So this is entering actual backpacking territory. So I just did about 1.2 miles of road walking, and now this looks like the part where I go into the woods. East River Preserve. So cool. From what I've seen of the trail today, it's going to be pretty flat. I don't think there's going to be any major ups or downs. Okay, right off the bat, I'm really confused about this because there's blue blazes clearly going that way, and there's a double blaze meaning you should turn, but then there's a blaze right there. And so I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. I think I'm just gonna pick a direction and just go with it. The way that the map looks, I think I'm supposed to go right. I think the way over there might have been an old trail, and I think this might be the new one, but I don't know. We're just gonna go with it. It's pretty muggy today. It's 72 degrees and cloudy, and the bugs are out, but they're not too bad so far. So this section I'm on is called the Monunkatuk Section, and right now I'm coming to a field. It's pretty cool. I like it when there's some variety in the terrain. And the bugs aren't too bad. They were going after my arms, but I put some bug spray on and they seem to be leaving me alone now, so. Okay, we are headed back into the woods, I think. Nope, I think that was wrong. I lost the blue blazes, so no, I think they want you to go this way. Sometimes the blazes with like the double blazes are confusing because you don't know exactly what they're telling you to do. Some of them mean you're supposed to turn, but it's not always clear where to turn. And then some of them are just like, hey, look out, there's something happening right now. So I think that was telling me to turn, but it was telling me to turn this way, and it was confusing because there was also a trail over there that looked like it was saying to go left. But this is the correct route. Keep going through the field. Okay, now this looks like we go back into the woods. Okay, so walking through this field here, so this one, that is clearly telling me to go left, and I see a blue blaze in here, so this one has to be correct. I've been hiking for an hour so far, and I've gone 2.8 miles, so I'm making pretty good time. actually pretty fast for me. That was weird. It shot me back into the field, so I don't know why it did not want me walking through the field that one little section. So the New England Trail crosses paths with several different trails along the way, so which is pretty cool, but you have to really pay attention to where you're going and follow the blue blazes, because I've seen yellow, I've seen green, I think at some point there's white and red, so lots of different trails. I've been checking the map from time to time if I don't see a blue blaze to make sure I'm on the right track. So, it is well blazed, but there's just so many trails that it makes it a little confusing sometimes. Well, I found a rock to sit on, so I figured this is a good place as any to have some leftover French fries. Would not recommend. I really wish I had a toaster oven right now. Must be in the woods in people's backyard section. Lots of houses, residential road crossings, cute little rocks. Decided to do a little bit of a road walk coming from that way and re-entering the woods, the timberlands, and the Timberland Preserve. Cool. I'm at mile 5.8 now, so got like 9 miles to go. This is kind of different. It's like kind of a grassy trail. I don't see that often. This one threw me off. I thought it was telling me to go right, but that's not the way. It's actually left. And I didn't see the blue blaze over there at first. Hey, this is harder to follow than I thought it would be. It is hot. It's like in the 80s, and heat is just like sapping my energy today. Well, the trail itself has been pretty easy though. So we're at the Cockaponset State Forest. All right. I was originally going to go get food somewhere, but I still have some leftover fries left, and I kind of just want to eat the food I'm carrying because it is so heavy, and I'm certain I brought way too much food. So I think I'm gonna just try and find a place to take a break and eat at some point, and then make it to camp. So this little section of trail is pretty cruisy. Just saw a deer run by. Camera's never fast enough. Entering the Genesee Recreation Area. Ooh. I got the bug net on. The bugs were kind of starting to annoy me, flying in my face, so I put this on. It is hot. It's currently 81 degrees, so I find myself stopping and taking more water breaks than I would. But luckily I'm most of the way there. I think I maybe have another 4 miles to go to camp, so I'm ready. Speaking of water, I'm a little worried about the water situation. I know there isn't any water at camp, and on my map it said that there was water sources that I should have already passed, and I didn't see any, so I don't know if they were just all dried up or what, but hopefully there's water somewhere, because if those were dried up, I don't have a lot of faith for the next few miles, which doesn't really say whether there's water or not. So I'm really hoping to find something, because I need water to cook my food. So we'll see. I have about a liter left, so it's more than enough to get to camp, but kind of worried about at camp right now. Trail's a little grown in here. Doing a little bushwhacking. Oh my god, that feels good. It's still so hot. I think it got up to 84 degrees. And I still haven't found any water. This is all I have left. So really hoping to find something, otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, I guess if I was desperate enough, I could use this. I don't really want to do that. I think this is the junction I need to get to camp. So the New England Trail continues north this way to Massachusetts. I will be going that way, but for tonight I am taking this little spur trail to get to the campsite. It should be about 1.5 miles from here. This trail actually used to be part of the main New England Trail, but when they rerouted the trail to include a section going down to the Long Island Sound, then you no longer had to start at this end of the spur trail here and zigzag your way north. You could still hike the section, and some people do for completion, but I am not planning on doing that for this hike. I might do it at a later date, like as a section hike, but for the purposes of my hike, I am going to be starting at the Long Island Sound and heading north into New Hampshire. I think this means I'm getting close to camp. And I still haven't found water, so I'm just gonna have to see if there's anything around camp anywhere for water. I think this is it. Tenting area. This is the tenting platform, and it's a tree down here. Oh wow, this is quite the hangout area. That is a huge fire pit. Wow. This map shows a pond. Maybe I can hike to that. Site has a bear box, that's good to know. I just dropped my pack off and I'm going to try and see if I can find this pond and get some water. This is a glacier erratic. Interesting. This looks like another privy. And I think this is a outdoor classroom. It's even got a podium. Oh, I see water down there. I don't know how to get to it. I think this is what I want. On the map it said white blazes, and this is clearly white blazed. And I seem to be going in roughly the right direction of the pond I saw. This is so nice. Okay, we got some standing water here. The the beaver, oh, blocks the flow of the water from the pond. Okay. Well, definitely want to filter this. I think this is probably as good as I'm gonna get. I think this is the most questionable water I've ever filtered. You can definitely see where this used to be flowing. But yeah, I think where I got water is a little bit better. Okay, I'm at camp. I have water. I feel much better now. So I'm gonna cook some dinner, set up my hammock, and just relax. I think I earned it today. So got my mosquito coil burning. It's helping a little bit with the bug situation. Got my feet in flip-flops. And I'm gonna try out this egg drop soup meal. One, because it's my biggest and heaviest meal, and I'm also very, very hungry. I haven't really eaten all that much today. I was kind of dehydrated all day, so I felt kind of nauseous, so every time I would try and eat something, I just felt like I wanted to throw up. So now that I actually have water, I'm gonna enjoy a nice big meal. So here's my bag of dried veggies and spices, and I am going to cold soak them first. So I'm going to put them in this water that I have in my pot and just let them soak for a little while. I know I'm going to be boiling 2 cups of water, so I'm going to measure out 2 tablespoons of alcohol, and I'm going to pour that into my alcohol stove. As a general rule, I do a tablespoon of alcohol for every cup that I'm boiling, but it's not a hard and fast rule because there's other factors like wind, temperature, luck. Sometimes a little goes a long way, and then sometimes a lot isn't enough. Not totally sure how long to cold soak this. Kind of playing this by ear, but it's been about 10 minutes and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna continue with the next step. I have gone ahead and broken up my ramen into, as you do. So I'm gonna pour that in there and start boiling. I ended up adding water to this and the ramen, and that looks pretty full, so I'm just gonna start boiling this and I'll add the other ingredients in after. Lit my alcohol stove and I can see the flame, so I'm just gonna put my pot on carefully. All right, and I'm gonna just let that come to a boil. Okay, the soup finished boiling. I think I'm gonna take it out and put it in my cozy and just let it sit for a bit. And I went ahead and I added the soy sauce flavor packet, and I added half of the egg powder. I'm gonna give it a try, see how I like it first. I also added a thing of olive oil. So I'm gonna give it a try and see if it needs anything. This is really good. I don't think it really needs anything. I think it's kind of good as is. So I used about 1 egg worth of egg powder instead of 2. I am so grateful for this bear box because hanging all of that food would have been very iffy. Well, this is not the earliest I've ever gotten into my hammock, but I think this is the warmest I've ever been getting into my hammock. I'm almost thinking it's going to be too warm tonight. It's supposed to get down to 64, so maybe it'll cool down a little bit later, but it's still 79 degrees. So I just finished brushing my teeth and washing my face, and I put my food in the bear box, and I washed up a little bit with baby wipes. Yeah, I just couldn't wait to go to bed. I'm so tired and I just want to relax, charge up my devices and watch videos and go to sleep. So today I hiked 16 miles, but I'm only officially on the 16-mile mark for the New England Trail because I did take that little spur trail to get to camp. It felt like a lot in the heat, and it would have been a lot anyway, but that coupled with dehydration and just heat exhaustion was really hard. Thankfully, tomorrow should be an easier day, and it's also supposed to be cooler. It's only supposed to get up to 68 degrees, so I'm really looking forward to that. Today, I wouldn't say that I wanted to quit, but like, today was hard. Like, in a survival sense, I was sort of like, I didn't know if it was going to be possible to continue because the water situation. And thankfully I found that pond water, which actually doesn't taste bad. If you can ignore the color, it's fine. I'm kind of worried about water on the rest of the trail though. I really hope that I cross some streams and things tomorrow. I don't really want to go back to that pond, but I might have to. Luckily, I think tomorrow I pass by a store of some kind, so maybe I'll buy some Gatorade or something. Anyways, I am going to settle in for the night. Yeah. Kind of a tough first full day of backpacking. Tomorrow should be easier.